Today, almost 50% of the world's population use the internet, almost all of them using it daily. There's not much that you can't learn about at the touch of only a few buttons. Could you imagine life without it? Yet our earliest ancestors had little means of sharing what they knew with their neighbours, never mind with those on the other side of the world. As people of few words, our Neanderthal relations were the first to capture their knowledge over 40,000 years ago in cave drawings. These images were much more than decoration and shared the keys to their survival. While the phrase knowledge is power has roots later in the 1500s, you can see its relevance even this far back. As written language was developed, knowledge became recognised as something to control, both in terms of its creation and its consumption. Powerful methods like storytelling were used within fables, sacred teachings and epics to pass on belief systems, moral codes and laws. Controlling knowledge was a way to keep people on the straight and narrow. Consumers of the written word, however, were at first small in number, as those skilled and educated to read and write were the privileged few. The earliest examples of books and libraries were commissioned by the elite of the time, whether a dominant religious group or the most wealthy. So if having knowledge makes you powerful, to share your knowledge is to give away a little of your own power. No wonder sharing was only amongst those considered equivalents, peers and allies. But then a significant development sparked consumption of knowledge by the masses. Following the invention of the printing press, by the end of the 15th century, it was estimated over 20 million books had been printed. The battle to control knowledge didn't end, however. Censorship was a feature of the Middle Ages. With the Industrial Revolution, countless inventions took consumption of knowledge from the hundreds and thousands to the millions. Knowledge was being shared through innovative new formats like never before, being accessed more easily and by the many instead of the few. What hadn't developed significantly, though, was knowledge creation. This was still a privilege. Unless you had your own networking station, or a heap of cash, your ability to share your knowledge with the world was somewhat stifled. Those in power still had the ability to choose what was consumed and censor what they didn't like. But then along came the internet. The internet has become a space not only for mass knowledge consumption, but knowledge creation by the billions. Take a moment to let this sink in. So whether you still believe that knowledge is power, it would be hard to deny that mass creation and sharing of knowledge across the world is progress. The challenge for many of us now is how to manage all of that knowledge that's available at our fingertips.